the Mojo story. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has skipped an appearance before the Enforcement Directorate concerning an alleged excise policy scandal case. Now, reports say that he, along with the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, will be going ahead for a scheduled electoral campaign in Madhya Pradesh and not going to the ED office for the appearance in that case. Now, the summons to Kejriwal came after 6 months since he was questioned for an extended period by the CBI in connection with the same case. Kejriwal has strongly criticized ED's summons, labeling them illegal and politically motivated. To discuss this, we're joined by Ashutosh, a lawyer. He joins us. Welcome to the show, Ashutosh. Uh, he's in his. He has a legal right to skip a summon by the ED, but ED can again issue a summon to him, and then perhaps there will be a time when there will be no other option for him but to appear before the ED.
Under Section 50 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the Enforcement Directorate has the power to issue summons to any witness or any accused to enforce his appearance before the Enforcement Directorate, to have certain questioning and to get certain statements, and also to investigate the matter, and also have the rights to have the seizure, and to seize certain properties also under Section 5, where they can attach the properties also provisionally. So all these powers are vested in the Enforcement Directorate under the provisions of the PMLA. Now, if the summon is issued and if the accused or the witness doesn't come and ask for a date or maybe adjournment, then it is the discretionary power of the ED for that matter, where they can give certain adjournment or can give a new date for further appearance, and a new summon can be issued. However, if two,
Right.
three summons are issued, and even if after the issuance of the summons, the accused or the witness doesn't appear before the ED, then in that case, the same can be intimated to the concerned court where the matter is going on, and the court may issue a warrant against that accused or the witness to procure the appearance or enforce the appearance before the authority. So these are the
Right.
powers vested upon the Enforcement Directorate. Now, the accused who feels that he should not appear because the allegations are not correct, or whatever his thought process could be, so in that case, that particular accused can approach the court, even can apply for bail if he satisfies two conditions as laid down under Section 45 of the PMLA. In that case, the court may or may not grant the bail considering the merit of the case. Apart from that, the accused can also appear directly to the High Court under Section 482 of Criminal Procedure Code, asking that there should be no coercive action to be taken by the Enforcement Directorate or any such other authority for that matter, because there is merit in the case. So these
Right.
are certain legal rights and remedies also available to the accused or the witness who has been summoned.
Yeah.
However, it will depend on the court. Based on the merits of the case, the court will decide whether to grant any relief or not. So in this case, if he has preferred not to appear before the Enforcement Directorate today, so it will depend on the Enforcement Directorate whether they extend the time for his further appearance, or they issue a fresh summons for a new
Right.
date, or they directly inform the court that we are not getting cooperation in this case. However, as we know that earlier also in April, Mr. Kejriwal had appeared
Right.
before the ED.
So,
So
so, so,
that
so, so
depends,
basically,
how ED takes it.
the ED can quickly issue a fresh summon. That means he will be
Yes,
summoned after a few hours, or they can issue a summon that involves some days or certain months. The time period is not specifically,
no,
mentioned about that.
no, there is no specific time as such, but yes, once the investigation is going on, it is the duty of any investigating agency to complete the investigation and submit the charge
Right.
sheet or the supplementary charge sheet before the concerned court. So obviously,
Right.
no authority would like to delay the investigation based on the ease of any accused or witness, because they are
And
bound otherwise by the law to submit the charge sheet before
also
the
the
court on
fact
time.
the Supreme Court has said to complete the investigation process in 3 months for
Yes.
the trial to begin. So obviously
Yeah.
they too have a deadline to complete the investigation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because in the bail petition filed by Mr. Sisodia, the Supreme Court was of the view that the trial should be conducted and completed, maximum within 6 to 8 months, which was promised and committed by the ED also in the before the Supreme Court. And also, Supreme Court had said that in 3 months, if the trial is not going in proper speed and pace, then in that case the accused will have the right to file the bail petition afresh, and that will be
Right.
considered on the merit of the case. So obviously the pressure will be on the investigating agency, that is ED, in this matter to complete the remaining
Right.
investigation and submit the supplementary charge sheet if any they wish to submit.
Right. Kejriwal has already labeled it as illegal and politically motivated. He has accused the BJP of orchestrating these summons to hinder his election campaigning, which he's going to Madhya Pradesh obviously today for an election campaigning program that was already scheduled. Let's hear from Raghav Chadda, the Aam Aadmi Party leader, what he had to say.
अगला जो इनका दस्तक होगी झारखंड और बिहार के बाद, वो बंगाल के राज्य में होगी, जहां 42 लोकसभा सीटें आती हैं, बड़ा राज्य है। इसके बाद दस्तक दी जाएगी केरला में, जहां पर विजयन साहब मुख्यमंत्री हैं। जब से सीपीएम की वहां सरकार बनी, पिनराई विजयन साहब मुख्यमंत्री बने, तब से उनकी लोकप्रियता बढ़ती जा रही है। और आलम कुछ इस कदर है कि केरल में 20 लोकसभा सीटें आती हैं, 20 में से एक भी सीट भाजपा की नहीं है। भाजपा अपना खाता खोलना चाहती है केरल में। खाता खोलने के लिए विजयन साहब को हराना और सीपीएम को केरल में हराना असंभव है, बहुत मुश्किल है, बहुत कठिन है। आसान बस इतना है कि केरल के मुख्यमंत्री पिनराई विजयन को पकड़ के जेल में डालो, वो जेल जाएंगे तो पार्टी चुनाव नहीं लड़ पाएगी, पार्टी चुनाव नहीं लड़ पाएगी तो भाजपा की जीत निश्चित है। ये 4-5 मुख्य अरेस्ट करने के बाद अगली दस्तक जो भाजपा की एजेंसियां देंगी वो तमिलनाडु में। तमिलनाडु फिर एक ऐसा राज्य जहां पर लोकसभा की 39 यानी कि 39 सीटें आती हैं, बड़ा राज्य है। और इन 39 सीटों में से एक भी सीट भाजपा की नहीं है। तमिलनाडु में एक बड़ा राजनीतिक दल जो बीजेपी के साथ अलायंस में था, बीजेपी के साथ गठबंधन में था, AIADMK, वो भी बीजेपी का साथ छोड़ के चला गया। तमिलनाडु में भाजपा की हालत पतली है। तो तमिलनाडु में एंट्री करने के लिए, कुछ सीटें तमिलनाडु से लोकसभा की बटोरने के लिए, अपना खाता खोलने के लिए सबसे आसान काम है कि MK स्टालिन जो वहां के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता हैं, मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उनके करीबियों को पकड़ के जेल में डालो। और आप देख ही रहे हैं कि कैसे उनके एक मंत्री सेंथिल को इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने पकड़ के जेल में डाल दिया। और नेताओं
You heard Raghav Chadda there clearly saying that
Yes.
it's a BJP's plan to target India alliance leaders. One by one, they are going to target all of them. But the fact is that this case is going on for some time. And recently, Supreme Court refused to give bail to Manish Sisodia. But let's also hear what the BJP has to say about this case.
अरविंद केजरीवाल कह रहे हैं कि ईडी नोटिस वापस ले, कल बोलेंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपना ऑर्डर वापस ले। तो ऐसे चलता है क्या देश? आपके उप मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ 338 करोड़ की रिश्वत का सबूत है, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला है। क्या इसके बाद आपको पूछताछ के लिए नहीं बुलाया जाएगा? और जिस तरह से अरविंद केजरीवाल पूछताछ से भाग रहे हैं, उससे ये स्पष्ट है कि वो डरे हुए हैं, उनके मन में चोर है और वो जांच से बचना चाहते हैं। अगर अरविंद केजरीवाल ईमानदार होते तो आज ईडी के दफ्तर में बैठकर ईडी के एक एक सवाल का जवाब दे रहे होते, लेकिन उनकी हिम्मत नहीं है। वो भाग रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको पता है कि दुर्योधन के सारे भाई जा चुके हैं, अब केवल आखिरी दुर्योधन बचा है। दिल्ली की जनता के साथ जो पाप किया गया, जो लूट किया गया, जो भ्रष्टाचार किया गया, उसका न्याय होना सुनिश्चित है। मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को सलाह दूंगा कि जांच से भागो मत, और जो आतिशी, सौरभ, ये सब जो लोग झूठ बोल रहे हैं, बार बार की सबूत नहीं मिले, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के बाद ऐसा झूठ आपको नहीं बोलना चाहिए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्पष्ट अपने ऑर्डर में लिखा है कि 338 करोड़ रुपए के लेन देन के सबूत मिले हैं। केजरीवाल जी अगर ईमानदार हैं, जरा भी इस घोटाले में उनका हाथ नहीं है, तो इस जांच का सामना कीजिए।
That was BJP making it quite clear. Kapil Mishra, you heard it there. But BJP members are also protesting at Rajghat, demanding Kejriwal's resignation. There was also some reports which indicated that Kejriwal might go to Rajghat and meditate for some time before going to Madhya Pradesh. Ashutosh, how do you see these developments taking place? This is a legal battle that's going on, but at the same time, this is very much political.
Right. See, first of all, the provisions are laid down under the PMLA, and there are other laws also which are laid down by the parliament, which have been made and amended from time to time. Now, these laws are not made now. These laws were existing since 2009, maybe with certain amendments. Now, the powers which have been given under the law was also challenged before the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court also confirmed the legality and the powers conferred upon the Enforcement Directorate under PMLA. And accordingly, now if we consider Section 45, there are two conditions to be fulfilled. One is that the public prosecutor should be given sufficient time to oppose the bail. And secondly, the accused should be able to prove that he is innocent and he has not committed any such crime, and that in future there are no chances that the accused will commit any repetition of such crime. Now, considering these aspects, any court, whether it is High Court or Supreme Court, will hear the matter where the ED is involved. Now, when the Supreme Court is examining all these aspects based on the investigation and the reports and the witnesses and other evidences, and the Supreme Court reaches to a conclusion that there is a prima facie case. However, obviously, it is not a trial. The trial will decide whether a person has committed a crime or not. That's a separate issue. But so far as bail is concerned, so obviously courts are there. So it is not that only the government or any political party who is ruling can decide every aspect. Now see, the investigation is being conducted by the investigating agency, and the entire investigation report is being submitted before the concerned court. And accordingly, the hearings are taking place and the courts are deciding based on all these evidences, arguments, and the reports or the charge sheet being filed, considering all aspects, including the statements of the witnesses and the evidences and documentations, or maybe the trail of the money, or maybe the bank account statements, etc. So all these aspects are seen minutely by the courts. So to blame a political party or the government, it will be, in a way that somebody is blaming even the courts. The courts are independent. They are deciding it on the merits of the case. Now, whenever there is any FIR, obviously within 24 hours as per Criminal Procedure Code, the file is opened before the trial court. Now the trial court comes, underway, where the supervision of the trial court is very, very important. It is not any, investigating agency which gets ultimate or absolute right to do whatever they want. They have to come up with the investigation from time to time. They have to make submissions before the trial court. And based on those submissions, the trial court further passes the orders. So it is not that any absolute power is being conferred upon ED in this case, even though the same was challenged before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court also came to a view that no, there is nothing wrong in it. And both the conditions of Section 45 is also to be satisfied before granting bail to
Ashutosh, Ashutosh, Aam Aadmi Party is majorly criticizing the investigating agencies, the ED and the CBI. But there are other reactions also coming in. If we can use the soundbite of Saurabh Bhardwaj.
See, they can
ठीक है सर,
criticize.
देखिए अंग्रेजों के ज़माने में भी जो पुलिस हुआ करती थी उसको भी कोर्ट से सर्च वारंट चाहिए होता था, क्योंकि अंग्रेज तक ये मानते थे कि अगर आप पुलिस को, एजेंसी को किसी के घर में घुस के छापा मारने की ताकत दे देंगे फिर तो जो है अफरा तफरी मच जाएगी, फिर तो दादागिरी हो जाएगी। मगर आज ईडी को कोई वारंट की जरूरत नहीं है, ईडी के अफसर खुद तय करते हैं कि उनको किसके यहाँ जाना है। और क्या ये सिर्फ इत्तेफाक है कि भारत के अंदर ज़्यादातर राज्यों में सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की है, इनके मंत्री हैं, इनके मुख्यमंत्री हैं, ईडी सीबीआई इनके यहाँ छापे नहीं मारती। बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता, कानून अपना काम कर रहा है, ईडी स्वायत्त है। अरे भाई स्वायत्त है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मंत्रियों के घर कब जाएगी ईडी? इतनी बड़ी बड़ी रिपोर्टें छप रही हैं, इंटरनेशनल मीडिया के अंदर छप रहा है, हजारों करोड़ के घोटाले हो रहे हैं, इनकी जांच ईडी कब करेगी? सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपोजिशन लीडर्स को चुप कराने की एक साजिश है। 2024 से पहले ये तय किया हुआ है कि जितनी भी बड़ी बड़ी मुखर आवाजें हैं अपोजिशन की, उनको जेल में डाला जाएगा और इसी सूरत में भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव जीत सकती है, वरना भारतीय जनता पार्टी का 2024 में जाना लोगों ने तय किया हुआ है।
The question that he is asking is that the investigating agencies are only after leaders of the opposition party. They're not going to the BJP ruled states. But while he was speaking, we played up that letter, Arvind Kejriwal's letter that he has sent to ED. If you can again play that letter, show that what exactly he is saying. He's saying that he has to inform the ED that why he is skipping this appearance, and he's given those reasons in that. One of the reasons that he says, in what capacity is he being summoned, as a chief minister or in some other capacity? So those are legal intricate points, but the fact remains that they are saying that it's only Aam Aadmi Party leaders, and it would go to other India Alliance partners subsequently, but no BJP ruled states find any raids or any investigation by the investigating agencies like the ED.
See, whether he is called as chief minister or any other capacity, see, that is something I would not say as a chief minister he is being called. He is being called maybe as a witness, or maybe certain information which the ED feels that is required from him based on the previous investigation, or maybe based on the statements given by the other witnesses. If any threat is coming on to him, or if the ED is of the view that there has to be some clarity based on the previous investigation as of now, which can be clarified only through Mr. Kejriwal, who might be knowing certain facts or may clarify certain issues. So based on that, they may call. So it is not necessary that they are treating him as an accused, or they may treat him as a witness also, or maybe to get certain, very specific information which only he can have, or he can support the investigation, he can help or assist the investigation to come to a logical conclusion. That could also be a reason behind it. So I don't think that it should be seen only in such a way that where he is treated as an accused, or he has committed certain crimes or something like that. But it can also be seen in such a way that there could be some information which could help the investigating agency to come to a logical, completion of the investigation. And this will complete the investigation so that further, procedure can be completed. Because now the Supreme Court has also said that the investigation has to be completed. In fact, the trial has to be concluded. So to complete the trial, the investigation is the first part which needs to be completed. Then only the charges will be framed by the concerned trial court, and then the trial will get initiated. And based on the examination, cross-examination of the witnesses, documentation, then the final argument, and then a final order can be passed by the trial court, who is, whether the person who is accused has committed the crime or not committed the crime, whether the person should be acquitted or should be convicted, So all these things or aspects will be decided accordingly.
Right.
Now,
In case of Arvind Kejriwal, reportedly that he had a phone conversation with a person called Sameer Mahindra, and that is basically how Arvind Kejriwal has come into the picture. And as you were saying, it could be a clarification, a question answer about that. It may not necessarily deem him as an accused in the case.
right. Absolutely right. And I think any Indian citizen for that matter should cooperate with the investigating agency, as a government agency, a central agency which is doing the investigation. And the cooperation is sought by the agency, by any individual for that matter, either as a witness, accused, or whatsoever. The person, if cooperates with the investigating agency, it helps the investigating agency to complete the investigation in the right direction. So this is what a cooperation which is expected, and that should be given. However, he can have his constraint at present, where he has to attend certain election campaign, etc., for which, if the agency, that is enforcement directorate, is of the view that some time may be given and it will not harm the case, or maybe by that time they can do other investigation, or maybe they can examine other witnesses by that time. So that can also be a part of cooperation from the enforcement directorate's side, considering the previous the statements or cooperation. That has to be decided by the ED, how they feel, whether they have got any cooperation from Mr. Kejriwal or not.
Right.
If they feel they have received cooperation, they can extend some time. However,
Right.
if they feel no, there is urgency, or maybe if it is delayed, the right information will not come, or maybe there could be
Right.
some tampering of the evidences or witnesses if it is
Right.
delayed. So in that case, they can approach the concerned trial court for
Right.
further orders, so that
Right.
they can
You made it
enforce
very
the
clear. You made it
appearance.
very clear that what the process is like. But the fact remains, as I was saying, that it's lot political also. Aam Aadmi Party came into spotlight on the plank of fighting a war against corruption. And ironically, today most of its leaders are facing corruption charges. Top leadership, including Arvind Kejriwal, being called by the Enforcement Directorate to clarify and to give their point of view about this liquor policy scandal case. But let's also hear Harish uh, Khurana from the BJP. He's also spoken. Let's hear what he had to say.
थी अरविंद केजरीवाल का जवाब आ गया और वो घबरा रहे हैं ईडी के सामने पेश होने के लिए। क्या कह रहे हैं? भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कहने पर ये नोटिस दिया गया, मुझे चुनाव प्रचार से करने से रोका जा रहा है, ये तो इलीगल है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, लीगली आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं, कानून अपना काम कर रहा है। 338 करोड़ की मनी ट्रेल के बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जिक्र किया है, और आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हो कि ईडी आपसे सवाल भी ना पूछे? मास्टरमाइंड और किंग पिन अरविंद केजरीवाल है, ये हम सबको पता है इस लिकर घोटाले के अंदर। चूंकि इलेक्शन है इसलिए आपसे सवाल नहीं पूछे जा रहे, ऐसा नहीं होगा। मनीष सिसोदिया के टाइम के अरेस्ट के बारे में आपने क्या कहा था? चूंकि इलेक्शन नजदीक आ रहे, बीजेपी घबरा गई है। सत्येंद्र जैन की जब गिरफ्तारी हुई थी तब भी आपने कहा था कि हिमाचल प्रदेश के इलेक्शन है इसलिए बीजेपी घबरा रही है। मेरा मानना यह है कि इलेक्शन आएंगे जाएंगे, आपने कर्मकांड किए हैं, आपने घोटाले किए हैं, उसका सवालों का जवाब देना होगा, चाहे इलेक्शन हो या ना हो। आपको लाइसेंस नहीं मिल जाता कि क्योंकि इलेक्शन है इसलिए आप भ्रष्टाचार करिए। सवाल उठता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब 338 करोड़ रुपए की मनी ट्रेल अगर पाई गई, उसमें आपकी संलिप्तता है, ये आपको जवाब देना है। सी अरविंद, मनीष सिसोदिया के जो पीए हैं, उन्होंने साफ कहा है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल के घर पर और उनकी मौजूदगी में हमें ड्राफ्ट जीओएम की मीटिंग पकड़ाई गई, जिसमें 5% से 12% कमीशन किया गया, उसका आपको जवाब देना है। विजय नायर इज माय बॉय, ये हमने नहीं कहा था, अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब आपने कहा था। इस बातों का जवाब आपको देना है। इसलिए तमाम सवालों के जवाब देने की बजाय आप ये जो अपने आप को बेचारा पॉलिटिक्स दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो कि बीजेपी हमसे वेंडेटा पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है, ये नहीं चलने वाला। सवालों के जवाब, टेक्निकल और लीगल जवाब जो है वो लीगल तरीके से दिए जाएंगे। अब ईडी क्या करेगी क्या नहीं करेगी ये तो वो जाने, लेकिन हम सबको लगता है कि हमें एक्सपेक्टेड भी था कि आप
Kejriwal is the mastermind and the kingpin, alleges the BJP. But now, obviously, all eyes will be on the ED. What are they going to do? Whether they are going to issue a fresh summon, and what is the date given for that? Kejriwal has made his stand very clear. He has skipped today's appearance. He's going for his election campaign. But how is ED going to respond here on? All eyes will be on that, and we'll keep a close track on this story and keep updating about viewers about all the latest developments regarding that. But for now, thanks so much for joining, and thanks to you, Ashutosh, for coming on our show.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.